Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Q Points. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, people?
You are tuned into Q Points, the podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. Jay Ray, we have another exciting episode for the folks, but your background looks a little different tonight.
It does. If y'all didn't know, I have now become a multi-platinum artist, and these are all of my plaques. No,
I see the awards. I'm like, when did all that happen? You've been holding back on us.
I've been holding back on Q Point since last week. No, I happen to be visiting the amazing singer, songwriter, legend, activist Kipper Jones, who has an amazing show on Sunday at Impact Church called Respect Yourself, the Music of a Movement. Anyway, I'm in Kipper's office, and it's fabulous. It's the most fabulous office that I could ever do this show in.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I hope you're enjoying this very weird weather. We're in a very weird space of weather, but I'm going to enjoy it for the time being. And I say we just get into tonight's show. J Ray, I have a lot of feelings. I've already stated that I have a lot of feelings about a lot of these culture vultures doing these shows and speaking to a lot of our legends and icons in Black music who aren't necessarily a part of the culture. Mm-hmm. And it seems like all they want to do is just cause turmoil and cause dissension. Did you catch the clip of Stephanie Mills that's been floating around?
I did. And to put that in context as well, that clip, I think it's from an interview in 2022. But of course, somebody, because that's what the kids do, they pull out messy stuff or what they perceive as messy, because I didn't perceive that as messy at all. Right. But they pulled it out, put it up. And so, yes, I did catch that clip and have been seeing the response, which upsets me.
Yeah, a lot of people, first of all, Stephanie Mills is a legend, an icon. You are not going to put her in her place. Okay? Y'all just stop that nonsense. That's crazy talk. Leave that woman alone. She did not say anything disparaging about Beyonce. She was talking about who she looked up to when she was coming up and what the look of glamour and music looked like to her. Who that was embodied in was Diana Ross. Plain and simple. It's going to be different for you because you're of a different generation. Yes, you grew up with Beyonce. You think Beyonce is glamorous. I don't think there was anything that she said that was out of pocket or hateful. Y'all just need to stop. Just calm down. It's a slow news day, as they used to say.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. And I also think we have to put to bed this idea of just kind of like coming for people that come for the people that you like music from. Let me tell you something. Beyonce doesn't need your help. She's really rich, and
She's a big girl.
she's a big girl. She's not, I promise you, she's not on the Twitter. Beyonce does not give me, I'm on Twitter checking for what people have to say about me. She's she's not concerned. There's no reason for you to be concerned. I'm trying to think of a time. So, Sir Daniel, when we were young, like when we were youngins, we would have these friend debates about artists that we liked among our friends.
Yes.
And it was just that. It was just like, yes, we'll go back and forth, but listen, but so and so did da 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 da. But it's just between friends. Like, you don't gotta. Beyonce doesn't need defending, in particular from Stephanie Mills, in particular because she didn't say anything bad about Beyonce
at all. You know, somebody, there was a clip posted on Twitter today where somebody put it in perspective that a lot of people, because a lot of young people, like when we were young, we had space to be loud and wrong, right? But we were loud and wrong with our peers.
Right.
Okay. We were loud and wrong with our peers. We were loud and wrong in private. There was no, and so that was that. Everybody was doing these things with their peers. Nowadays, because of the internet and social media and all these different platforms, everybody feels like there's this even playing field, and that nobody is coachable. Nobody can be, can be corrected, because everybody feels like they're on the same level and can't be corrected or taught anything new. And so therefore, that's why you have a lot of people who have these, at times loud and wrong opinions, and voice them all the time, but don't necessarily have the ability to see that there's another point of view, or even have the willingness to accept that they just might not know what they're talking about, or might just be wrong. So I think all of this is cause for another perfect storm. And it's unfortunate, but that's what we go through all the time. That's what we've been going through for a while now.
And I mean, my hope is that people listen, that people critically think and just take a step back before reacting.
Yeah.
And also, it's okay to say things that aren't positive about Beyonce. It's okay. There might be things that folks don't dig. I just don't want us to. We have already crossed the line with stan culture.
Yes.
And I feel like we actually need to dial some of it back, instead of leaning more into it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. And I'm glad to hear your perspective too, Sir Daniel, because I caught that and I was like, why though? Why is this a thing?
Yeah. Why did this become a thing? And when we go ahead.
But one question I want to go back to, because you said something really important, and I do think I want us to also hold that up. And there are these platforms out there that are becoming huge, just for spreading foolishness about our legends, or getting our legends in front of these cameras and saying things just to be able to get clicks and likes.
Yes.
I think we have to, for once and for all, really do away with that. I'm okay with a gossip show. That's not something that I am against. We grew up with Wendy Williams and Miss Jones. We know how this goes, right? But this idea of getting people on these platforms, saying all of this wild stuff, just for some clicks, because that's all they're doing it for, is clicks and likes.
Right.
It is a no-go.
Well, the only solution I see for that, J. Ray, is send everybody to Q Points. That's it.
Just send them all over to Q Points. Come to Q
Publicists, just send your legends, your icons, your up and coming. Send them over to Q Points for fair and equal interviews, for great platforms for them to speak their mind and not be baited to, say something crazy for clicks and likes, just like J Ray said. So yeah, this is simple solution. Very simple
See, Sir
solutions.
Daniel, this is why Sir Daniel is so brilliant. He just came up with that. There we go.
Just
Boom.
boom, just like that. Now, I will say today, I may have shed a thug tear or two because there is a trailer of an interview, a forthcoming interview. Oh boy. Okay. Let me get myself together. Let me get my words together here. Lil Yachty is interviewing his best friend Drake, and the subject came up of Drake's impending retirement from the music industry. It pains me just to even say those words, J Ray, but there is a possibility that after almost going on 20 years of being
world domination,
and of us being Drake's tings out there, this might come to an end. And yeah, I just want us to sit with that for a second. Let's just hold space for that. Sit with that for a second and imagine a world without being a Drake ting and without Drake music and how bleak it seems. But in all seriousness though, like we've fallen for this okie doke several times before. We fell for it with Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did we fall for? I fell for it with Anita
Lauryn
Baker.
Hill retired.
Lauryn
you
Hill.
got Anita Baker.
The list goes on and on.
Michael
and on.
Jordan.
Yeah. People saying that they're going to retire and clearly they don't fully retire. So yeah, do you think Drake is really throwing in his Canadian towel or what?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Because what will end up happening, and even if he does plan to do so, what's going to happen is somebody going to diss Drake, and then he's like, I'm gonna have to come back out of retirement so that I could do a song and show these young whippersnappers who could sell more records. No, I don't think Drake is retiring, but I will say this. I think we may be on the verge of these powerhouse artists who did control a generation, the 2010s. Mm-hmm. We're looking at Rihanna, we're looking at Beyonce, we're looking at Nicki Minaj, we're looking at Drake.
Mm-hmm.
All of these folks are probably looking at retirement, right? They're probably looking at, nope, I'm just not going to release any records anymore and live my life. And that will be really interesting because the legends that we grew up with, for the most part, didn't really retire. I do see the artists who I just named being able to retire and be okay with being in retirement. So I think Drake's done everything that Drake wants to do. So if he retired, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't think there are going to be any tears shed in Argentina right just yet for Drake. What I do find interesting is that artists that we grew up listening to, right? Mm-hmm. It took maybe 20, 30 years before they retired because they, making music was still, it was still appropriate for them. It was still feasible. Mm-hmm. It was bankable, something for them to do. Whereas nowadays, today's artists, it takes a lot more.
Yeah.
Music just doesn't sell like that. I saw somewhere where it takes 128 spins for you to earn $1 on iTunes or something crazy like that. And Spotify is like twice that.
Right.
So it's not the same thing as selling units, actual hard copies. So maybe it's just, I'm just taking notice that it takes a lot more to make money off of music. And the most money isn't made off of the music itself. It's made off of, your appearances and selling yourself, selling your image and, lending your image and your likeness to products and whatnot. So that's actually kind of apropos for this age that we are in of music.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. And to that point of artists doing something new and different, I caught the Tiana Taylor is in this movie called 1001.
Whoa, that trailer.
That trailer, I was like, oh, she better snatch wigs.
She's going for that.
She went all the way in for. I'm looking at this trailer like I want to see this film. Like I am dying. It feels like I harken back to like a Just Another Girl on the IRT and kind of the movies that we grew up with in the 90s of like it's gritty, but we're going to give you acting and we're going to give you a story from a Black perspective. And so once again, Tiana Taylor, who said that she was retiring from music at some point a couple of years ago, moving into acting and doing other things and looking really good. I want to see this.
I absolutely want to see it. As the kids say, she's taking it. I believe that's what they say, right? She's is this thing on? She's taking it. So, before we go any further, I have to thank the guys over at the White People Won't Save You podcast.
Oh, we had
that episode dropped, and I sat and listened back to it, and I cackled. We had such a good time. I forgot all the things that we said. We're silly. We're very, very silly people, but it's a good time. Please, when you have the opportunity, we've been retweeting it all day. Click on that link and check it out for yourself. It's such a great show and such a great concept for movie lovers. The same. So please check that out.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had such a good time over there. First of all, shout out to Wani Lovett who hopped in the chat.
Wani Lovett.
So happy to have you here. Yes, Tiana is a perfectionist when it comes to her craft. She's definitely a beast. And yeah, follow the White People Won't Save You podcast. It's fun stuff. Like, so the concept of their show is having conversations about white savior films and kind of reimagining them from a Black perspective. And it was truly a ball. And so please go listen to it. Y'all will laugh. We talked about Break Into Electric Boogaloo, which you have to say the whole thing.
A tour de force of performances, that movie.
Absolutely. It was a movie.
Chef's kiss, definitely. So please check that out. Oh, and shout out to our Canadian cousins, They Reminisce Over You podcast. Please check that out as well. We've been making the rounds, and so all the folks out there, you want to holler at us, we definitely are down to come and do your show. So do that. Because we like questions, we like answering questions as well. And J. Ray, tonight, on this episode, that's exactly what we're doing. We got 5 on it. We have 5 loaded in the chamber.
Yes.
5 questions for each other that we have not shared with each other yet, folks. We're going into this blind. I don't know what J. Ray is going to come at me with, and he has no idea what I have in store for him.
No, I'm super looking forward to this. And we actually got a question from our newsletter. So by the way, I'm going to put the link to our newsletter. Make sure that you follow it because the newsletter is popping. It's called Q Points Mag. And you can get all things Q Points, but we did get a question from there. And so if you have a question that comes up for you, and we'll say this again later on in the show, but if you're watching live and you have a question for Sir Daniel and I to answer, we will answer your question. This is about y'all getting to know us and our music-y stuff. So we're going to have some fun with it.
Absolutely. All right. So where do we want to go? Do we want to answer the question that was sent to us? Or do we want to start off with a question from one of us?
Let's you know what? Let's go ahead. That is a really good plan. Let's bring in a question that was asked of us because it is a fun one.
Okay.
And Gil asked us. Hold on. Gil, by the way, is one of our Q Points insiders. So Gil has access to all of the Q Points behind the scenes, including However Comma. And by the way, we talked about so much on However Comma this week. So
It's juicy, folks. That's all I'm gonna say.
It is juicy. So just a note. So here is what Gil asked us. Hold on. Let me find it. It's coming up. It's coming up on my phone. Here we go. Question. Are plans for a live show in the works? Is Gil's question.
Oh, that's easy. Absolutely yes.
Yes.
We are absolutely planning live shows. We're planning live shows in multiple cities.
Mm-hmm.
So just get ready. Watch the notifications, and be sure that you come out and meet and greet your guys, your boys, and yeah, we're definitely ready for that. I think we will definitely shine in a live forum, and I'm dying to reach out and touch and meet a lot of you. A lot of you I already know, but I'm ready to meet and greet those of you who I've never met. I'm sure J Ray can, will say the same, and have the conversation live because I know you guys are itching sometimes to get in on a conversation too. So I think it'll be so fun, and it's definitely time. After 2 going on 3 years, absolutely.
Yep. Nope. I agree with that 100%. There is another question from Gil. We're going to save that one towards the end. So do you want to go first and ask me a question? Just so y'all know, by the way that this is working is we don't have to answer the question for ourselves. Like we just have to answer the question that's asked of us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So if you want to go first, Sir Daniel.
This is an easy one. This is like the setup question, just a softball question. J Ray, what is your favorite song to ride to at night?
Oh, okay. So that's easy. So my favorite song to ride to at night, I kind of have two, but the one I typically go most often with is Uptown by Aya. That song is also one of my favorite summertime songs. I'm sure I talked about that song when we did our summertime episode as well. But it was produced by Jay Dennis. We will put the link. Apparently, I have one of the only interviews with Jay Dennis, by the way, who is the founder of Naked Music, who produced some of my favorite dance music of the 90s and the early 2000s. But anyway, yeah, so thank you. I'm grateful for that. It came up on Twitter about a month ago. But that song was produced by Jay Dennis. It was from her album Strange Flower. Aya now makes meditation music, which is super dope. And fun fact, she so Sweetback is Sade's band, essentially. They did their own band called Sweetback, and Aya was the vocalist on their second album. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing she didn't do meditative music while you were driving at night, because that would lead to tragedy. But is there what's the groove like for those of us who haven't heard it? What is it? Is it something that you're bouncing your shoulders to, or is it just a slow nod? Like I'm really cool, laid back. One hand steering. Paint the picture.
Yes. So Uptown is a groove. It is a mid-tempo song.
All right.
And it is very much it's funk, so it has a deep bass line. So the bass line and is kind of the thing, and it has these guitar stabs, and Aya's vocal just kind of floats down on top of the whole thing. One of the most beautiful things about the song is the hook just kind of floats around the instrumentation is a way to describe it. But so when you're in your car at night, for me, playing this song, I like to play it with the windows down because I feel like other people need to experience this.
Certainly.
Yes. And Trey is in the chat. Trey is also one of our Q Points insiders. And Trey, you spell Aya's name as A-Y-A. So if you look up A-Y-A and Strange Flower, I believe it's still out there to stream. The whole record is kind of, It's a vibe before we was using that word.
Before we were saying vibe.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's a
Gotcha.
vibe, is what you would say. If Aya hears this, I'm hoping that you can one day come to Q Points. So there we
Absolutely.
go.
So that was Uptown by Aya.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Oh, so Sir Daniel.
Alrighty.
This is an interesting one.
Okay.
Who is an artist that you thought would come and go, but ended up having like a long career and stuck around?
Come and go.
But they ended up not coming and going. They ended up having like a career.
So there's actually there's quite a few people like that that we just did not think. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. One of the biggest names in hip hop, one of the people that has had the most impact on hip hop is Little Kim.
Mhm.
I just remember in the beginning, the very beginning, it happens. People start picking apart little things. There was a lot of these random rumors that went around about Little Kim, a lot of mythology about certain sexual practices and a lot of innuendo, and you remember rumors like her being rushed to the hospital because
Mhm.
of some sexual activity.
Mhm.
And then of course the rhymes.
Mhm.
In the beginning, I know a lot of people would talk about her delivery and they couldn't believe that it was her.
Mhm.
So there was just a lot of naysayers at the beginning of the game. But I mean, what can we say? It's the rest is history. Little Kim has proven decade after decade that she is hip hop.
Mhm.
She is definitely a part of the music canon and has definitely changed the game. She is still a reference for a lot of people, a lot of not just young women, but in hip hop, but in other genres of music. She is a fashion reference.
Mhm.
Um, she's done a lot for. She's attached her name to a lot of causes, including being an ally in the gay community.
Mhm.
One of the first few hip hop names to align their name with AIDS activism and being a
Mhm.
part of that light and that life. And she's also, for all intents and purposes, she's also the leader of the pack of a movement of women in the game. That whole camp of Kim, Missy, Fox, Mary, Aaliyah. They just represented, and can't forget the Brat. But
Mhm.
that was just a moment in time. Lightning in a bottle that will
Mhm.
never be replicated. And yeah, I just can't say enough about Kimberly Jones. Like it just bears repeating. A lot of us really counted her out in the beginning of her game, but 30 years later, here we are. So yeah, first person that came to my mind, Little Kim.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because at the time when Kim and Fox emerged on the scene, they really were super different. Like, because we
Hmm.
were coming out of the era of the Queen
The Gangsta
Latifahs, the
Bitch
MC,
era.
the Gangsta Bitch, and we were coming right out of the Gangsta Bitch era,
Yeah.
where all of the women MCs they were suddenly underground all of a sudden, right?
Hmm.
And then you have Kim and Fox showing up, and to your point, with Kim being able to carve out such a legacy, like she's referenced in everything and has inspired a generation of MCs behind her. So
Absolutely.
that's a great one. That's a great one.
All right, J Ray, you ready for your next
I'm
question?
ready.
All right, J Ray. This is kind of a two-parter. But
Mhm.
J Ray, what is your DJ name and what is your MC name?
Ooh. Oh, so oh, I I kind of want to answer the. So I'm gonna answer this question in two ways. I want to tell you what it would have been when I
Hmm.
was a youngin,
Okay.
and then I am going to tell you what it would be now.
Gotcha.
So when I was younger, so I had three over time. So the first one was Spark J. I don't know why. Eh,
Spark J.
Spark. I think it was like Sparky, but then, because it was a lot of Sparkies when we were
Yeah.
kids.
There's Sparky D,
But
of
I was
course.
like, you gotta drop the Y and just be like Spark J,
Because
which
you were different.
because I was different.
Yeah.
I was different.
You were a rebel.
Right. And I'm gonna start with MC. I don't think I ever had like a DJ name idea. So, but we could talk about that because I think I would have one now.
Okay.
But I definitely didn't have one when I was a kid. Or younger. So my second name, and this was heading into high school, was simply just J, but the letter J very specifically. In fact, I have a tattoo of the J. So my logo is still the J with the circle. So it never kind of went away as like being a symbol. So yes, nothing else. It would be like, what's his name? His name is Jay. And no, it's not Jay, it's just Jay. And I
I'm
don't
seeing a lot of legal battles between you and Janet Jackson for that J.
me and Janet, me and Jay Prince, me and a lot of people. There's a lot of
Yeah.
Jays out there, right? With varying degrees of careers.
Janus.
Yes. But yeah, kept it very simple. And then today I would keep it all very simple. It would just be J Ray. Like I see J Ray as like my most universal name. It could be a DJ. I wouldn't put DJ in front of it. It would just
Nah.
one, because I'm not a DJ. I would never I don't want to be a DJ. I will select the hell out of an event though, bitch. I will select your event. Okay. But I
J
won't
Ray
be
the Selector.
J Ray the selector, right? It would
Gotcha.
have to be very specific. Like you have to know I'm not going to be DJing. I will be selecting. Because I have high hopes and responsibilities for DJs. So yeah, J Ray would be my MC / musical artist / DJ name.
Nice. So there you have it. The mystery has been solved.
Okay. So, Sir Daniel.
Yes.
What song or artist makes you emotional, almost to tears, when you see them or the song perform? So it could either be an artist or a song that makes you emotional.
Wow, there's actually quite a few that can do that. I'll tell you one that might surprise people is Stevie Nicks when she sings Landslide. That could be a little a misty-eyed, who's chopping onions in here moment. Yeah. Mary definitely, there have been moments where I've heard Mary sing things, especially when she covered the Stevie Wonder Overjoyed. That, because we all know that Mary has a pain, there's like a aching, a longing in her voice that's all resonated with a lot of us. So yeah, when I think of that, think of tears, I think of that. And I also think of another one that might surprise y'all, Bruce Springsteen when he's singing Streets of Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that definitely brings a lump in my throat from time to time, for sure.
Those are beautiful. All beautiful songs too. I feel like we're gonna have a playlist that comes out of this conversation.
Certainly. Absolutely.
Yeah, so look out for that, y'all. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and it'll be in the description for those that listen back.
Aha, you gotta sign up for that newsletter.
So you can get the playlist. So yeah, what you got, Sir Daniel? What you got?
Speaking of playlists, J Ray, I want you to think back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the name of the person that you made your first mixtape for?
Yes, I do. That's hilarious. Yes, I do. Her name was Genezra. We dated in high school. I don't remember what was on this tape. I know one existed. I don't know what was on it. This was the early to mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Child, who knows what I was putting on mixtapes then.
Was it off the radio or was it like a
no, Sir Daniel, because I had a very robust CD and cassette collection. So,
sir, was it a dual cassette player?
Absolutely. J Ray, let me explain, y'all. J Ray had a bedroom full of CDs. Child, most of them I probably got for free from the Columbia House and the BMG. Remember, y'all was giving them pennies and they wanted their money.
Y'all didn't even pay for those CDs, but that's a different conversation.
Nope. And it didn't have UPCs on the back. It had like the BMG stuff.
Absolutely. Not for resale.
Right. Yep. That's hilarious. So if I go to my brother's house now, I will be able to find like most of those CDs. But no, I had a racks of CDs and stuff in my room because by then I was working. So I could buy my own stuff. So I had plenty of cassettes, and I was definitely making cassettes or mixtapes from my collection of amazing music. There's actually a picture of my brother rummaging through my extremely dirty bedroom, but going through all of my CDs, and like you can see him on the floor, like rummaging through stuff. Nice. I'll find it one day.
Mixtapes was such a nice and thoughtful way of sharing your feelings for somebody, or just sharing your feelings for somebody, and just and bonding.
Yeah. And you know what? And when you open it up like that, me and friends used to share mixtapes back and forth. Because you would tape stuff off the radio, and then I would dub it, because you could dub back then. People are going to be, if you are of a certain age, you're going to be like, what is he talking about? Okay, let me explain, y'all. Like DJ Sir Daniel just said, you would have the dual cassette. So if I could dub it, and so I could record one cassette to the next, it would just duplicate it. The quality would get worse. It didn't stay high quality. So let's just be clear. But I would make tapes back and forth for folks. And I remember having cassette requirements for the cassettes I would record on.
Okay.
It couldn't be them like Radio Shack dollar joints.
Oh no. Were you a Maxell?
I was a Maxell. Listen.
Okay.
I need some Maxell. Maxell was actually the most. Sony I liked a lot. Sony had a commercial brand. Now I will tell you, when I started working in the music industry, baby, like Panasonic had like
the best,
these amazing cassettes, right? So dubbing, when I started working at studios, dubbing from the studio was like amazing. So anyway, yes, I do remember the first mixtape that I made, and it would have been for Genezra. Shout out to Genezra. I had to check in with her and see how she's doing.
Nice.
But so Sir Daniel, my next question for you: what is a song that you absolutely love to hear in the club? You might not like to hear that joint nowhere else, but in the club, knocking.
Ah, there's quite a few of those. I don't know. This question is taking me back to the crunk era,
Mhm.
um, to a lot of thugged out Tuesdays. Um, yeah, because I think it would definitely be the Little John and Little Scrappy joint, Get on My Level. That this is definitely not something that I'm playing around the house or I'm riding around in my car to. But if we having a little nostalgia moment and we talking about making the speakers ring off and whatnot, that's definitely something that would get me all out of my chair and get me crunk, as with the young people, throwing bowls and such. But yeah, that definitely get them. You can never, ever, 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 ever get on my level. So yeah, anything from that era, the crunk era, a lot of that, the 3 6 Mafia,
Mhm.
man, listen, slob on my knob, any of that stuff. The ass and titty song, banging. You hear me? And again, you would never think it would just never cross my mind to purchase that stuff or to make it a part of my personal repertoire. But yeah, you get that thing playing in the club, and I get to, my hip might start moving a little bit, my shoulders start moving, my head will start. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I will definitely take it back to that crunk era, the takeover of Little John and the takeover of the 3 6 Mafia in the mid 2000s. God rest her soul, Gangsta
Mhm.
Boo. There's a remix of Where Them Dollars At, and it's only on vinyl. And I have to thank DJ Eclipse for putting me onto that. And I think DJ Herb actually made that remix, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So that era definitely had me jugging, as the kids would say, in the club. So yeah.
Now, that's interesting. I do have a question for you because, of course, you actually came from New York to the South, so sometime in Florida, then, of course, in Georgia.
Mhm.
What did it take you a minute to adjust to the South's hip hop when you got down here? Because that was still early. That was before the South took over everything.
Yeah, I did my adjustment in St. Petersburg, Florida. I was a so I my early exposure to anything below Washington D.C. what came from like the Two Live Crew and
Mhm,
creating the Throw the P Girls, that heavy bass sound.
mhm,
So that was the early exposure that I had, and so then actually moving into Florida and becoming embedded in the community there, I got exposed to like your DJ Magic Mike's and the Jam Pony Express, the Dogs, the Puppies, that kind of the bass music. So by the time we moved to Atlanta, I was already open to all of that stuff. I was down for a little boom, boom, click, 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 boom. I
mhm.
was okay with a heavy 808. And, I had, my ears had finally grown accustomed to Southern slang, and everybody has their own dialect because what I heard in St. Pete didn't necessarily translate here in Georgia all the way, but there
Mhm.
were some similarities. So, yeah, it wasn't a huge adjustment because I had some easing into it, if you
Got it.
would.
Got
Yeah.
it. Oh, what you got, Sir Daniel? What you got?
Okay. So Jerry, I want you to close your eyes
Okay.
and I want you to think of your favorite artist.
Mhm,
Now, what you're going to do is you are going to name that favorite artist
mhm,
and think about their body of work.
mhm,
And within that body of work, I want you to pull out either a whole album or a song and tell us what that song is and erase it or erase that body of work in that catalog because you just don't understand why your favorite artist would have done that and you just don't want them to feel shame for releasing such artistry or a
mm.
piece of art like that. So Name the artist and just tell us out of their body of work, what are you clicking delete on? Just like delete, it never existed.
Okay. So, ooh. So my favorite um so my favorite artists, always find some value. But if I had to delete one thing, I'm gonna follow your rule.
Okay.
Um shoot. So Stevie Wonder's Journey, the Plants album, the Plants soundtrack that was done in like 1978. I don't like that. um I don't remember if it even did well, but it was a soundtrack, I think, to um a documentary of some kind about plants.
Yeah,
Um
Kipper says it's the secret life of plants.
The Secret Life of Plants. The plants, yes. I'm like, the journey to the plants, the secret life of plants. Yeah, he could not have done that.
You could have just said no.
He could have just did that. But I mean, we got hotter than July kind of, coming after that. So I guess, we had to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yes, okay. So maybe you could find something on there, Kipper. So see, this is why the brilliant Kipper Jones is in the chat. Like, that's the one I would pick. I will tell you, I could go for another one.
Absolutely.
So Marvin Gaye's Here My Dear. I don't love that record, but I also know why he did that record. So Here My Dear is named because it was his next record was payment for a divorce. Like, in the divorce, his ex-wife would get the proceeds from the album. So he called the album Here My Dear, and you get.
So he was being petty.
He was being petty.
I love it. Actually.
So Marvin could have just not done that record.
Gotcha.
But he had to do that record, Okay. So he's like, look, Kipper's like, I will not say that in front of Jamal Ahmed. If I see Jamal while I'm here in Atlanta, he'd be like, I heard that you said you don't like Here My Dear. I did. I'm sorry.
He said what he said.
That is a really good question, Sir Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Sir Daniel, and you may have answered this, but I'm sure there are more. Okay. So, what's a song that you love that may make other folks say, really? That song? Huh.
Oh, there's quite a few of those. Look, let me just go through my phone right now, because that's why if you're riding with me, you just gonna have to listen to what I'm listening to. Just plain and simple. All right. So yes, I am. Oh, okay. There's quite a few that'll make y'all laugh. Okay, so I know definitely. Okay.
Look, you can't even say it out loud.
Okay. Straight face. Kaya. Been a Bad Girl. I like this song.
I kind of like. I'm with you. The video is hot.
Is it hot?
She doesn't have any real lyrics in that song. Kaya doesn't. Okay, no shade. Kaya don't be having lyrics for real. They just be like hooks repeated. Anyway, Been a Bad Girl by Kaya. Love it.
She's really good at that. Like, I can't. There's something, and it just makes me move. I can't front on that song. I think I've mentioned this before, but I love, rest her soul, Olivia Newton-John's Magic. Sing that to the top of my lungs. And I don't care what anybody says. I absolutely love Janet Jackson's Dream Street. I love that song front and back. The wispiness of her voice at that time, the the sometimes inaudible lyrics. It's just there was something, a feeling that was being that was emulated from resonating from that song that resonated with me. And the video, because I was already a fan of Cleo on Fame, so I will sing Dream Street to the top of my lungs by Janet Jackson. People like to pretend that that album doesn't exist or that piece of work doesn't exist, but I absolutely loved it. People don't realize I do have a very ratchet side. I think, well, I kind of exposed that in the last question. But yeah, I got I got a little City Girls. I got some old school Trina on my playlist. I got some 21 Savage on here that people be like, oh wow, okay, yeah. And there's a new song by these young ladies called Shabuya.
Okay.
Shabuya. Shabuya roll call. And when I tell you, I think they're from Tennessee. They're from Memphis. Just like Glorilla. It's like some of the hardest looking chicks you could ever think of. They sound hard. They sound really, really bossed up. But the song is hilarious to me, and it's a good time. It's ratchet as hell. Yeah, those are all parts of me. Yes, you will find that those are all parts of me. I have a very ratchet side. I have a very corny pop music side as well. So yeah, those are my songs that you would never ever guess that I like listening to.
And can I also just echo that you will hear Dream Street in DJ Sir Daniel's car. It's gonna happen.
He knows. He absolutely. You are going to listen. You're going that, and you don't stand a chance.
Well, that's a jam. I get that one. Dream Street, I don't get, but I know that you get it.
I get it. Okay, so I guess these are we're coming up on our final questions for each other, right?
Our final questions. Yep.
So I hope this doesn't sound too macabre and too, this doesn't take the air out the room. Mm-hmm. But J. Ray, when it is all said and done, when you close your eyes, what song would you like played or performed at your homegoing celebration?
That is such a good question.
What's up, Peppermint Gaddy? I see you in the building.
Hey, Peppermint Gaddy. What song? Okay, so this is going to sound real crazy and weird. I have no idea why at some point this week, I can't remember what day because it was a fleeting thought, but I woke up and I was, just kind of sitting on the side of the bed because let me let y'all know, when you get to a certain age, you have to sit on the side of the bed before you get up. Right,
you got to muster up some strength to get up out of that bed.
Absolutely. So I was sitting on the side of the bed and I was looking around and getting my bearings and stretching, and in my head was "I'm going up yonder," and I was like, "Why is that song? Why is that song in my head?" So I guess that song. And I need somebody that could modulate up. They gotta modulate. And
going up yonder.
Listen. And I need a choir and all of that. I'm going up. It was really in my head. This is literally recent, y'all. That's the only reason I'm able to answer this.
Let me ask you this. Did you happen to fall asleep with the television on? And was the television playing like old commercials from back in the day, like included that gospel collection called Rough Side of the Mountain?
Rough Side of the Mountain. Oh,
Going Up Yonder is one of those songs that's on there. Is it possible that got into your subconscious that way?
Okay, so now I will say this. It is possible that it did enter my subconscious in my sleep. So I sleep to rain. So for the last like 3 or 4 years, I sleep to rain sounds. If you sleep to rain sounds, holla at your boy. Because that's the thing that I do. So it's very possible that maybe it floated into a thing. I don't know. But yeah, weirdly, that song was in my head. I don't know.
So J. Ray wants everybody falling out crying and rolling around on the ground doing the crybaby at his
I
homegoing.
know. I want y'all up on your feet. I want you singing too. I want it to be a jubilee.
Because he's going home.
Yes, go up, kids. Yes, that'll be me. Yes, kids, go up. It'll be a whole thing. Now, okay, so I know that I'm not supposed to ask you questions, but now I'm curious because that's such a good question. What do you have? What's yours?
So, of course, there's going to be, and I want all of them, if they're listening, like Peppermint Gaddy, if you're listening still, just go ahead and get the squad ready because I want a plethora of DJs.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a party, of course.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a plethora of DJs spinning in my honor. But Can You Feel a Brand New Day from The Wiz?
Can you feel a brand new day? Yes.
That's a song about transformation, about newness and transformation and stepping into not just a new day, but a new world. And so when it's time for us to go home, that's exactly what we'll be doing.
My goodness, I love that. That is awesome. Yes, I want to be part of that. So, Sir Daniel, so my last question for you.
Okay, all right.
Is when you think about all the songs you've heard over the years, if there was one song that you like, this could be the last song I hear and I would be okay. I can listen to this song for the rest of my days and it will satisfy me.
Set It Off by Strafe.
Good.
Because
there's so much in that song too.
I mean, we've got double claps, we've got 808s, we've got lots of bass. But I know we've even got a whistle. And I know that if the song is long, it's long enough. It's a DJ break song. It's a DJ I gotta run to the bathroom song. So it's long. And I know that if it's the last song that I hear, it'll be the last. I'll see people dancing to it, and they'll be dancing in formation because you dance. You know, people stroll to that song.
Absolutely.
People do the electric slide to that song. So, yes, and that's what I live for. That's what every DJ wants to see is people dancing and having a good time. So it would be Strafe's "Set It Off," and that would be my final song. If that was my final song. Ever to hear again.
I love that. So we did have another question that, like I said, came through.
Yes.
Now, child, I don't know what this answer is going to be for me. So good luck. But Gil also asked, and this is not music related. So let me preface it. The first time, here's this question. The first time you went to the movies on a date, do you remember what you went to see? I have no clue.
Gil, you made Gil.
It was the 90s. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Was it I Like It Like That? Remember that movie with Gloria Velez?
I loved that movie.
What was her name? Gloria.
Yeah, I thought it was Gloria Velez.
Was it Velez? Yeah.
Oh, you went to see Alien with Nadira, with the amazing vocalist Nadira. Just Kipper's life. I just don't even know.
You know, Kipper names just drop out of Kipper's, like, oops, sorry, watch your step. I just dropped another name. But you know what? He can do that.
This is
he can do that. I'm side of anybody other than Kipper doing that. I'm side eyeing, but Kipper can drop names all day long. I'm here for it. But I think it might have been Gloria. Yeah, that I Like It Like That movie. And I barely remember anything about the movie except that song. I like that. And yeah, I don't even remember the premise. I just remember a lot of it was hot and sweaty in New York City, a lot of Harlem,
She was arguing with her boyfriend a lot.
yeah, a lot of black um Latino
Yes.
action going on. So I
Yes.
think that was it. Mm,
Yeah,
it's a blur.
yeah, same here. I honestly have no idea.
It wasn't Love Jones.
No, because I was too old.
Okay,
I it would have been something it would have been something in the 90s. You know what it might have been?
Deep Cover.
No, it might have been no, Class Act was too early because that was like 92.
Yeah, you were still in high school then.
Well, no, I would have still been in high school going on this date to the movies.
Okay.
I definitely went to the movies on a date in high school. The question is what
What
that
did
movie
you
was,
see?
and I have no idea. Gil,
It,
amazing question. I do not know.
it, it could have been Waiting to Exhale. It could have been. Oh, what was that movie that Vanessa Williams was in with Arnold
The-
Schwarzenegger?
but that was like 91. That was the Equalizer. Wasn't that like
No,
91?
no, that was like 94, 95. And it
Oh,
wasn't The Equalizer. It was called The Eraser.
the Eraser. Yes, it
Yes,
was the
yes, yes,
Eraser,
yes,
not the
yes, yes.
Equalizer. You were right. It was the Eraser. Yep. Oh,
And
I
it was
really
like a
dug that movie. I might have to go back and revisit that.
that
Shout
was
out
a
to
good
Vanessa.
movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Gil, that was a great question because you kind of stumped both of us on that one.
Yeah. Don't know.
But these were all great questions. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was
I
super
did.
fun. And hope y'all like really enjoyed it too. So we're curious. Like, so if y'all have questions for us, still drop them. We can bring them into future shows. But wanted to do this for y'all. It has been a whirlwind. It's been a time. We have been nominated for awards. We're headed to Vegas in a couple of weeks for the
The
Ambies.
Ambies, yes, sir.
We're gonna walk the red carpet. I saw the email come through today.
Hey, so we got to get spruced up. We got to look like
Right.
somebody.
I need a
A,
outfit or
a
whatever.
situation, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, I have one last question.
Sure.
After doing this, I think we've known each other pretty well.
Uh-huh.
But after this particular segment, did you learn anything new, or do you think did anything surprise you from this Q&A from between us?
That is a really good question. I think the one thing that surprised me was the club question when I asked you songs that you wanted to hear in the club.
Okay.
I did not expect it to be so kind of southern hip hop centered. I did not that was surprising. And it reminded me though that you've lived in the South for so long, right?
Yes, for a very long
So
time.
I associate you with kind of New York and boom bap and all of that, but you have both. And so I think I was surprised by that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm everything that you told me, except for of course the Going Up Yonder. I thought you might have said something like, I don't know. I thought you may have pulled a Shaka Khan or
Oh, I have a list.
for your homegrown. Okay, so but the Going Up
that was the
Yonder
one
is
that
the one
came up. That was the one that
top.
came up.
Gotcha. Yeah, but this is great. So I hope that you listening got to know us better through this episode, because we're always being nosy with other people. I figure hey, let's show a little leg and pull it back for you guys, and hope you really enjoyed this episode. And yeah, over the weekend, this weekend is coming up. Everybody be good to each other.
Yes.
Let me give a shout out to the cast and crew and Katori Hall for The Wing King. I saw that last night. Absolutely amazing play. That cast, I can't remember all of their names right now, but that was such a wonderfully placed cast. The chemistry between them was amazing. The storyline, great. It was fun, funny, heartwarming, all the things that they say, for all great acts, for all great works. This is a Pulitzer Prize winning stage play, by the way, folks. So when you have the opportunity, there's not much time left here in Atlanta, but I'm pretty certain in a city near you, the Wing King will come by. You must go check it out. Shout out to Michonne and Sean Simon and the whole crew over at the Alliance Theater for putting their foot in that thing and making sure that the word got out that we needed to go see this, and we saw it. So shout out to them. And they put forth this really great effort to expose the public to all these great Black owned queer and queer people of color owned restaurants here in the city of Atlanta. And, great place to find out who these people are, where they are, and the services that they provide to all of us. Because like the MC of the show said last night, that food is what is a really big part of community.
Absolutely.
Food brings us together. Who you dine with, who you break bread with says a lot about you and a lot about our chosen families. So it's just really a great play to see. So again, I urge everybody to go check it out.
Nice. I will be there on Sunday.
Nice.
So CMP is doing the talk back for the Hot Wing King, and looking forward to checking it out. So I get a chance to see the play. I'll be there for the talk back and doing other things. So looking forward to that. So I'm glad you saw it, and that's dope. So congratulations to the folks over at the Alliance Theater in Atlanta for doing this amazing work. Couple of things, please. Definitely you want to support your boys over at Q Points if you love Q Points. And thank you so much, Trey, for saying that this was a great episode. We're glad you enjoyed it, and we're glad everybody hung in. But go ahead and subscribe to Q Points. If you visit qpoints.com and click subscribe, you can become a member, a Q Points Insider, and you get all the behind the scenes, including the foolishness that we talked about on However Comma this week. It was a lot going on. So we covered all. So you get all of those things. Make sure that you subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can, please leave us a rating and review. It really does help us out. And make sure that you subscribe to us over on YouTube. We have some content that lives over on YouTube on video that you might want to check out. And Sir Daniel, we got an email today. We're up to 9,000 views on YouTube.
Let's make it happen, folks. I'd love to see it.
Let's get to 10,000. Let's get the subscription numbers up.
Share
is appreciated.
Absolutely. Well, listen, J. Ray, what do I always say? In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. Again, I am Sir Daniel.
My name is J. Ray, y'all.
And this is Q Points, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round.
Peace.